name's Julie Labrum, and my business is called This Is My World, and I use a combination of modalities. I am an astrologer and an NLP practitioner, and I use coaching methods and also spiritual awareness to help women to really get into the mindset to help them achieve what they want to achieve out of life. Essentially happiness. What I find is I tend to attract a lot of ladies that are really in a space of not knowing what they want to do in terms of career and maybe even having their own business. I would say vocation as a really great word that encompasses it all, really their path. And so what I do is I help them find their path through all these different modalities. I saw a nutritionist because I suspected I had food allergies that were causing some problems with really chronic sinusitis. So I had a fairly lengthy consultation, about an hour and a half, and I came away with a book about that thick, which I had to carry around in my handbag with a little notebook where I logged everything that I was eating and what I could eat. It was hard, to be honest. It was, you know, constantly flicking through the book and writing things down. So yeah, it was a challenging experience. Now, food diaries, yeah, I've kept by paper. It's for me, I like the idea because I like the idea of being kept accountable, and to know that they can and will view it, you know, whether it's on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And also assistance. I mean, I don't know if your app does it, but maybe give some suggestions for, you know, if you're, you know, you're staying away from wheat and dairy or whatever, what could you have instead, that sort of thing. So, and the other situation I've been in is I've also been to a nutritionist with my daughter because she was getting very fatigued. So we've had 2 appointments now. I'm in there for the entire time. Exactly the same scenario. You know, we've got a lot of papers that we come away with to read through, but the thing is with anything like that is you'll read it and then it tends to be put down, or I personally, I'll read something and then I'll sort of put it away. And as is happening with my daughter, so I feel that she's got off track, and her actual thing is to eat more. She wasn't eating regular enough, and she's only 13. So from that point of view, again, I think it's more of an accountability thing. You know, it's like if you know somebody else is going to see it, your nutritionist or your dietitian, then you know there's a sense of obligation to, you know, for your own wellness, is to actually fill it in and, you know, get some feedback. So yeah, look, I sounds like a good idea to me, because I'm that sort of person that likes a level of accountability and certainly guidance. As would be especially important for my daughter. So yeah, look, I think it sounds really good, and if the nutritionist or, you know, the practitioner is actually reviewing it on a regular basis, even if it's a sort of a quick flick over, I think that's really good to know that somebody actually is really helping, you know, really caring about what you're doing.
Like, this is a really new insight for me, because a lot of clients that I spoke to didn't say that they like to be accountable, in the sense they like somebody to, it's easier for them if they know that somebody's watching them.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you know, that would really compel me personally to make sure that I filled the flipping thing in every day if I knew that they were going to be alerted if I didn't fill it in. And, you know, even if I say didn't fill it in for 3 days, well, from my own experience, if somebody doesn't fill in like a diet diary or whatever for 3 days, it's because they've fallen off the wagon. And to then get a text or an email or a call from your nutritionist or whatever saying, like, I know what you're up to, you know, pull your reins in, that would be, for me, that would be real value for money. It wasn't just an hour and a half appointment. It was it's accountability, it's follow-up, it's a demonstration that they actually care about what you're doing in between your appointments. So yeah, I mean, for me, that would be probably a real selling point if I knew that they were gonna, that this was, if you like, my inter-appointment support.
So you think that following up and building relationships with your nutritionist is important for you as a client?
Absolutely, because if you don't think they care, it doesn't matter how much they know, if you don't think they care, then they're really, I mean, I've been in a situation before when I've been to practitioners and they can have all the experience in the world, but if I get the sense that they don't really care about what I do when I walk out the door, I won't go back.
Mm-hmm. Would you refer a nutritionist like that doesn't want to connect with you in a sense of like really building a relationship with you?
No, absolutely not. I expect, you know, if I'm going to somebody with anything personal, then I expect full buy-in, and you know, not for me to just be forgotten name when I walk out the door. So for me, the app would be a real bonus if I was going to a practitioner and that was part of the package. If that was part of it, that inter-appointment support, that would be important to me.
So if I have a question, like from a standpoint of a client, like if a nutritionist says, well, you know, I have this really great application that I want to use, but I have to bill you like, I don't know, $5 or $10 more, but you'll get the care that you need that we talked about. Would you be willing to pay like that extra money for the value that you would receive from the app, because it will be easier for you to fill everything in and then get all the feedback and, you know, tracking and everything from a client, from your nutritionist? Would you be willing to pay a bit more for it?
Yeah, I would, you know, as long as it wasn't too high a fee, but if it was a fairly minimal, even if it was a one-off or a minimal ongoing, because again, it's, for me, it's, you know, I think there's situations where some people go to a practitioner and they kind of expect them to fix everything. And from my point of view, there has to be a buy-in from both sides. And I think if I was asked to pay for it in, you know, either a one-off payment or a minimal ongoing payment, well then again, it's me saying, well actually I'm serious about this. I'm not just sort of going to turn up every 6 weeks or whatever and expect you to just work miracles. It's also, you know, if it is to be, it's up to me. And, you know, yeah, I think sometimes when things are given for free, they can be perceived of having no value. So I think hitting it in a really good middle ground where, you know, it's not too expensive, whereby, you know, it makes it all sort of, you know, too much for the person, but making the cost a very reasonable cost, I think it adds additional, it gives it more value.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have also one question, the nutritionists that I've been talking to, they're usually like saying this, and I really would love to hear this from a perspective of a client. So basically, a lot of nutritionists didn't talk to their clients and ask this question. So if you know that your nutritionist basically is making kind of excuses or doesn't want to give you an opportunity to actually have a good service and to build a relationship, what you said is really important, would you go back to this provider or not? What as an end client do you think about this kind of, you know, state of mind, like I'm not ready to invest into my business as a nutritionist or to give more care to my clients, and making kind of excuses of not having time or money, which can, even though it can lead me to a lot of other clients in the future, because my happy clients would refer me.
Look, I think there's a lot of different people out there, a lot of different practitioners. Myself, my intention is always to give a lot of value. I think with the moving times, with the way that technology is moving forward, I think it's important for people to realise that they can't stay static. Like there are a lot of practitioners of all different modalities out there. You know, it's really spread out now. It isn't just your bog standard dietitian or you know, this or that. It's really spread out, and they have to move with the times. And you know, it could potentially be one of those unique selling points to begin with, where, you know, you could sort of have a group of 12 people that go to a nutritionist and only, you know, 1 or 2 of them are offering this extra service. Well, you know, for a lot of people that would be of interest. Obviously there's going to be people that you know, maybe don't want to be held accountable because they'd rather just pitch a moment it's not working, you know, putting it out there. But I think for people that are serious, then they want somebody that is going to give them the value, and they are actually going to get somewhere from seeing that practitioner.